Thank you guys so much once again for joining us here on Beautifully Bold. Here on Beautifully Bold, we are embracing her beauty, captivating her gifts, and acknowledging her strength. Today, we have a she's special to my heart. She just released her new single called Too Much. If you have not listened to it, please make sure that you download it and listen to it on all social media platforms. YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram. I mean, she's everywhere. Today, introducing to you Miss Dede Speaks.
Hi.
Dede, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, see? So you started off in church and you were 13 years old.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit more details about it? How did it all begin?
At least for me, like growing up, my family loves music. Like we're very like music oriented type of people. Like my uncle would play music all the time, and he would like invest. He's a type of person, he invests a lot in technology.
Okay.
So he would buy speakers, sound systems, all the stuff. So constantly everywhere we go, we would hear music. Church was the first opportunity that gave me the chance to kind of find my voice. Sing songs the way I want to sing them, and just express myself. Right. Sadly, also through church, somebody kind of broke my heart. As far as when it came to like my dream as far as pursuing music, because that person kind of planted a seed that maybe I wasn't good enough. And I hate that happened in church, but that also opened my mind as far as knowing that once that seed is planted, it's so hard.
Yes, it's deep rooted. Yes,
it's deep rooted. It's deep.
I understand.
It's really deep. So I'm still working through that as far as trying to find my confidence, trying to find my sound, try to embrace who I am through my music, give good messages, and just build myself as an artist. So it started off in church. It kind of ended in church. But it also... It happening in church allowed me to define my own spirituality and also define my own musical journey, because it shifted from just singing gospel songs to now singing and creating my own songs.
Okay, so you would say that basically what had happened in church, the relationship that you had with that person was what kind of ended it all in church, and then you decided to just break out to do other love music.
Yes. Okay. But I do still sing in church.
Okay.
Because it's good practice and it's a good way to like kind of interact with the people around me. But ultimately, that happening and being told like, oh, you're not good enough, pushed me to kind of challenge myself. But as far as writing, I've always had a background writing because I do write poetry. So that also helps with the music.
What would you say is one of your best poetry?
That's hard. That's hard. Because I just recently wrote a piece. It's called Lullaby. That is my personal favorite, and that's gonna come out soon. But so far, what is out is Dear Black Man.
That's my favorite. That thing was on repeat like crazy. You guys, if you have not listened to Dear Black Man, it's on YouTube, and please check it out.
Dear Black Man, the idea around it is loving on black men. And showing black men that they can be vulnerable even after slavery and being told that they're not good enough like several times, because that happens so much in society. And Kweku is about domestic violence. That one, I was actually working with survivors of domestic violence, and then the idea came to me because sometimes your inspirations come from anywhere. So hearing people's stories about what happened, I was like, let me try and write something from the perspective of somebody who's actually being abused, but still loves the individual. Because some people wonder, like, why do they stay?
Why do they stay?
There's so many reasons.
Deep in love. You're just deep in love.
There's so many reasons why people stay. For security, for the love, for just the support, the comfort is a lot. So you can never fully understand it, and I don't try to understand it, but I just wanted to bring one perspective as to why somebody would stay. So in Kweku, the person was staying because they thought they could be that person's guardian angel. They thought they can always be that shoulder regardless of the abuse that was going on. They just wanted to be that individual.
Right. So I wanted to also ask you, Kweku, wow, that one is deep. I'm telling you, people get their inspiration so much from everywhere. I remember Adele started off with her I think Someone Like You, and I think even the guy had like sued her and something like that because it was the breakup that allowed her to actually fully come out. That was that to her. That was like her climax. Like that was her climax of her career. But Kweku, as I was listening to it, may her soul rest in peace, Ebony, it reminded me so much of Mamishe. Do you think there's some type of resemblance in it?
With the topic of domestic violence, yeah. And also with Kweku, one of the biggest thing is I incorporated Ga and Tree also into it because I wanted it to touch the Ghanaian audience. Okay. One thing I've realized is that, especially as a Ghanaian, we sweep a lot of issues under the rug. We don't like talking about the serious issues. We're very jovial people. So when it comes to like the hard topics, most of the time people just turn their backs. It's stuff that people think you should just talk about in close quarters. But domestic violence is real, and I wanted to shed light on it. Right. And Ma Mishra does the same thing. And it's such a powerful thing to talk about because domestic violence, as much as we don't want to talk about it, it happens every day. And it's people's realities. Right. And those are stories that always need to be told. Right. Do you feel as though that people, or specifically females, are just really heartbroken and they are scared to come out and say, oh, this is what I'm going through in my relationship, and then sometimes they don't have somebody to support them? How do you feel on domestic violence? Domestic violence is very, very interesting. It's very complex and it's very interesting because there's love in it. Right. And everything that starts with love starts off pure. Correct. But then for it to escalate to physically, emotionally abusing somebody, I don't even know. Words can't even explain, but in the Ghanaian community, and I keep going back to the Ghanaian community because that piece was written specifically for the Ghanaian community. In the Ghanaian community, it will be hard for a woman to be like, oh, this is happening to me, because it's not being talked about. So how are you supposed to express or talk about something that no one around you is talking about? For example, everybody can be like, hey, I don't have money. So you too, when somebody approaches you, be like, hey, me too, true, I don't have money. But if you're being like abused, you don't have that comfort or that knowledge of knowing that somebody else is being abused, because those are things that people don't share. So you won't feel comfortable just being like, oh, hey, I'm being abused, unless you're going for help or is like an agency or a resource. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's like you said, is that fear. What is one thing that you would say to those ladies out there that are actually going through domestic violence? I would say that reach out to the people around you. Use the people around you as a support. And if you don't have anybody, there's agencies, there's phone numbers you can call, there's hotlines. But try and find somebody that can help you understand what you're going through, and also process like what you're going through. Because domestic violence, like I said, is very real and is very complex. So what I may feel as is not serious may be so serious to somebody. So just try and find a support system wherever you are, and make sure that you can find somebody that you can confide in and tell them your situation. Okay.
So you graduated from Bowie State University. You enjoyed yourself. Hello! Bowie State University. So when you were in Bowie State University, were you doing a lot of your music stuff? Were you doing poetry, or did you stop your music and you continued poetry stuff?
So when I was at Bowie, music wasn't my focus. Okay. Social work was my focus. Okay. My first love is music, but my second love is social work. Gotcha. My family, let me just say this. My family is very open. And like my mom and my dad are like the most loving and most compassionate people ever. So in choosing a career or a path, apart from music, I was like, I want to do something that I can give back and also demonstrate that level of compassion. So I decided to do social work. So when I was at Bowie, my focus was social work. But I had some opportunities to perform at Bowie, but that was like closer to like me leaving. That actually was like, okay, let me take advantage of this setting to kind of build an audience and get like people knowing. I wish I did it earlier, but God's time is the best.
Aunties, preach to them. God's time is the best. So after you got your bachelor's in Bowie State University in social work, then you moved on to your master's at NYU. Tell me a little bit more. Did you give a pause with music too, or did you do something else in NYU?
So after I graduated from Bowie, I was still writing, and when I moved to New York for a year.
Okay.
And during that time, I was like, okay, let me still write and still kind of get myself together. So when I was in New York, that's actually when I wrote too much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So out of the frustration.
Hello.
Yo, New York life is not easy. It is not easy at all.
City living.
Because when I was at NYU, I lived in the Bronx.
Okay.
I went to school in Manhattan.
Okay.
And I worked in Brooklyn.
What?
So,
girl, you just did a 360 right there.
So
How did you manage?
Yo, I was reading on the train, writing music on the train, just doing whatever I can because most of my life was on the train. Okay. And I wrote too much there. And that summer, I was able to link up with Apia, who is like this amazing producer in Ghana. And like he gave me so much vim, and we recorded it, and it was just magic.
Yeah. You see where people are writing? She wrote too much on the train. What are you writing? But I wanted to also ask you. So apart from your past relationship that you went through and everything, which kind of motivated you? What other thing motivated you to this whole music thing?
To this, my brother. I have to say, my brother Ben. Okay. My brother Ben. I think he came to the United States. I don't remember the year. Right. But I was trying to remember. I don't remember the year I was here. But when he came to the U.S., like, he was also pursuing music. He's also a musician, and he's a rapper. Okay. So, like, he'll be like, oh, he'll be pushing me up to, like, rap, to pursue this music thing. And I would just write, like, little small raps here and there. And I remember he had a song. It was called Booty Bounce. Hey! Booty. And he was like, yo, I should do a verse on it. So I just decided to do a verse on it. The song didn't go far, but like the people that heard it were like, yo, this is dope. And they were just making my head big. Wow. And a little hype can go a long way. Yeah. So that hype just like built me up. I was like, okay, maybe I should rap a little. So I started writing like little freestyles. And then I want to say last year, I was like, oh, I'm free. I need something to do just to, with my free time. So I decided to pick up Yapono's Obiani Nemasa, the beat. And I just rapped to it. And I was just joking. Like, it was no seriousness, just joking. And the response people gave me from that, it was really good. So I started doing, like, freestyles, I think every like Thursday or Friday on IG. I fell off. Why? But I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back. But I fell off because one, the time to write and also think about it and think about the beat and process it. Working a 9 to 5 and doing that is not easy. So yeah, but I'm definitely bringing it back. I think either sometime this week or next week.
So is music something that you see as a short-term or a long-term thing? Is this something that you want to keep pursuing, or is just for fun at the moment?
This is not for fun.
Oh, it's not for fun.
I've invested blood, sweat, and tears. This is not for fun. No, but I have fun doing the music. I definitely do have fun doing it. But I want it to be a long-term thing. One thing I've realized is that I have a unique sound and I have a unique voice. No one will ever sound like Dede. Yes. Just like no one will ever sound like Ebony. Just like no one will ever sound like Afia. You can try,
but it won't work. They say be an original, don't be a copy.
So I know I have a voice and I have stories to tell, because music is also about storytelling. Even if it's soko or something that simple, you're still telling a story, you're still
Yes.
giving off a vibe, you're still giving off something off your music.
Right.
And I love doing that.
Okay.
And just the creativity also. So personally, I don't like to be called an artist. I'd rather be called a creative, because I feel as though I like just doing creative things.
Right.
Because I rap, I sing,
Wow.
I write.
Wow.
So just being put under that umbrella of musician can be very limiting.
Right.
But-
So when am I coming on to you guys? Me too. I want to rap. Me, I have.
Oh,
I
come!
have
I'll give you
rap,
lessons. I'll give you lessons.
I don't
give
have.
me one bar. Give me-
I don't have. Dora the Explorer. I don't have. Dede,
Yes.
it's been an honor and a pleasure having you here on Beautifully Bold. Thank you so much for taking out this time. You guys, before she leaves, I really want her to give me just a line of Too Much, because that song is just killing me. Dede, please wow the audience, because that song Too Much. If you're not checking it out, you need to go and check it out. It's lit, it's nice, and it's a boo love thing now.
I know,
Boo-
yeah,
boo
love
love
everywhere.
now. Boo love. Dede, let's hear it.
Aish.
Aish.
Being put on the spot like
Ah, you weren't expecting it.
that. So too much, oh baby, you be too much, oh, don't you know? Oh baby, don't you know? The way you do some things, you really make me want to scream your name, baby, baby. The way you take control.
Hey, sisters in love. You guys, here is Miss Dede Speaks. Make sure that you follow her on all social media platforms: Facebook, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter. Thank you guys so much for being here again on Beautifully Bold. Here we're embracing her beauty, captivating her gift, and acknowledging her strength. Thank you guys so much. See you later.